What's going on? What's going on? We back, Goodfella Sports TV. We up in this thing, and apparently, Dallas Cowboys fans' nightmare. Dez Bryant signs a 1-year deal with the New Orleans Saints. And what's so significant about that is not just because of Dez Bryant going to the Saints, is that in about 3 weeks, the New Orleans Saints visit the Dallas Cowboys. Now, Dez Bryant missed over half the season, and now he's finding a team with the New Orleans Saints, and I think this is a great opportunity. I think patience is a virtue. He gambled on himself, and right now, it worked out for him. I think the New Orleans Saints is the best team for him. He went to a top quarterback that can do things for him that Dakota Prescott couldn't do, and do things for him that Tony Romo did for him. We're going to explain that as well. But I was looking at some highlights of him work out. He looked a little bit heavy, So he got to get into playing shape, And there's no substitute for football shape other than training camp, but playing football in real life, in real football, game speed and stuff of that nature. But for people wondering, why do New Orleans need him? New Orleans really don't have anything in the passing game outside of Michael Thomas, now that Ted Ginn is gone. They got rid of Willie Snead. Marcus Colston not there no more. Cameron Meredith haven't really stepped up. The Smith character, he's done well, but do you really want to, risk injuring Smith, who's your deep speed, receiver? They don't really have a tight end. Ben Watson is getting older, so you can't really depend on him. Kobe Fleener is long gone, I believe, so they needed another option, and I believe this was a great option for them. Dez Bryant is not going to see double teams because Michael Thomas obviously can't be single covered this year. Alvin Kamara is probably the second best receiver out the backfield. They run the ball now with Ingram and Kamara. Kamara catching the ball out the backfield. Ingram can catch it a little bit. And now you got Dez Bryant working underneath with deep ball receivers he's all around receiver like Michael Thomas. And then you got a deep ball receiver in the rookie Smith. So I mean the Saints are really gearing up, to win it and to do it for Drew Brees and get Drew Brees another ring. And for me, watching Drew Brees at Purdue back in the day and win them the Rose Bowl, I've been a big Drew Brees fan, and I think he definitely deserves to get another Super Bowl ring. And I always thought that him and Aaron Rodgers were neck and neck, and people put him above Aaron Rodgers, and people forget about the trials and tribulations Drew Brees went through. But Dez Bryant, he couldn't have felt in a better situation. Imagine if he went to Green Bay and they were losing like this. People would find a way to put it on Dez, all right? Imagine if he went to the Giants or the Eagles and they was losing like they losing or going through a hiccup like the Redskins going through right now. They'll find a way to put it on Dez Bryant. So Dez Bryant got what he wanted. He get to go back to Jerry World, AT&T Stadium, and stick it to Dakota Prescott, Jason Garrett, and Sean Lee, the guys that hated on him. And he got a quarterback that knows how to throw people open. Tony Romo knew how to throw guys open. So that's what you need. Drew Brees will throw Dez Bryant open. He will use the big body receiver. He gonna be more of the possession role. I still think he can get vertical a little bit. And Dakota Prescott didn't know how to throw Dez Bryant open. That was the problem. He didn't know how to throw Dez open. And y'all better know Sean Payton is gonna find a way to really stick it to Dallas. He gonna find a way to try to get Dez a touchdown, but Dez got to get familiar with the playbook. Dez got to get in game shape. Dez need to really get in game shape, not for the Dallas game, but for the playoff stretch and the home field advantage stretch running the regular season. He signed a 1-year deal, so see how it worked out for him. And he got an opportunity to get a ring and do exactly what DeMarcus Ware did. DeMarcus Ware left Dallas and got a ring with Denver. So this is an opportunity not only to stump the Cowboys out this season, but to get him a ring and possibly get him a bigger contract next year, because, obviously Ted Ginn got injured this year. Obviously, the Saints are going to be in the market for another receiver next year. And obviously he continued to want to play. He wanted to play for Dallas, but it didn't work out for him. And it's good that Jerry Jones did bring him back, because you ain't going to be part of a playoff team. You part of a Super Bowl contender. A team that look like the NFC might go through them if they continue to win out. And that's, they got a favorable schedule as well too. So Dez Bryant fell into a perfect situation. Salute to him. They got let's see who the Saints got coming up. So let me see what they got coming up. They got the Bengals coming up this Sunday, followed by the Eagles at home. They go to Cincinnati this Sunday. He probably won't play this Sunday. Probably play next Sunday versus the Eagles. They at home versus the Eagles. On the road versus the Bengals. Then the Eagles at home versus the Eagles. Got the Falcons at the crib. They already beat them once. Then they play the Cowboys at at Jerry World. Bucks, Panthers at the Carolina, at the Bucks. They got the Steelers at home, and then they end the season at home on the Saints. They don't have an easy schedule, you know what I'm saying? So I can see why they geared up, and they brought I think Bruce Ellington in, Brandon Marshall in, and Dez Bryant in. So pretty much I would think Dez Bryant is a perfect fit. And if he ball out, Dallas Cowboy fans gonna be sick because he wanted to come back to the team. And if he balls out and shows that he still got it, that means that they have a quarterback problem in Dallas. You know, Prescott doesn't know how to be a true veteran quarterback yet. He doesn't know how to throw Dez open. And it's a lot of quarterbacks that you notice that don't know how to anticipate throws, that don't know how to throw receivers open. But like I said, I seen the Dez Bryant work out today on Undisputed. He looked a little bit heavy. He got to lean out a little bit, you know. So, but obviously, he looked better than Brandon Marshall, and the other receiver I think was Bruce Ellington. And Brandon Marshall played this season, you know. He played this season. So Dez Bryant was in better shape than he was, or he had a better workout. So he been working. So he got to make sure he stretch out. He get them limbs limber. And, you know, he won't get no soft tissue muscle injury because that's what it's about. It's about him getting banged up and hardening that body right now and getting there making plays. Would he come in there and be the number 2 receiver right away? No. He gonna learn a playbook. By the end of the season, I expect him to be out there doing number 2 receiver plays, you know, snap counts. You know, Smith is a good receiver, but teams will recognize if we double team Michael Thomas and we bump and hit Kamara out the backfield, who else gonna hurt us on the Saints? Ted Ginn not there no more. You know, he injured. You know, Cameron Meredith, he ain't did shit all season. And our best corner could take Smith out the game, we take our chances with our linebackers and safeties on Ben Watson. So at the end of the day, the Saints needed another weapon bad. They needed another weapon back because you take Thomas out and you could hit Kamara and not let him get out on the route, which is more easier said than done. They needed Dez Bryant. You know, they needed that type of receiver. And Dez Bryant could have, you know, went to the Baltimore and took that deal. And he was wanting to go to Green Bay. He wanted to go to the NFC East and stick it to the Dallas Cowboys. But it all worked out for him. He going to a Super Bowl contender right now. He get to play the Dallas Cowboys. And then he get to go to the playoffs and win something. What else could he want? This scenario worked out perfect for Dez Bryant. Imagine he went to the Browns. It'd have been his fault, right? They'd have been blaming the whole thing on how Dez was a bad teammate. He went to Green Bay Packers. He'd have been blamed for their downfall. The Eagles, the Giants, he'd have been blamed for their downfall. You know, the Packers, all of them. He ended up waiting, getting to go to Drew Brees, a Hall of Fame quarterback, a quarterback that know how to throw him open, that know how to anticipate throws, that know how to get him the ball. He ain't the number 1 receiver. Michael Thomas is. Then you got Kamara off the backfield. He gonna see a bunch of one-on-one coverages. And if he can't beat one-on-one coverages at this point in the NFL, being the 3rd option or even the 4th option if you include the running game, you know, then he don't belong in this league. You know, I know a lot of Dallas Cowboy fans salty about it. You know, they real salty about it. But it is what it is. If he go light y'all up in a couple weeks, you better put some respect on Dez's name because you know he going to be getting in football shape for that Cowboys game. That's going to be one of the most anticipated games this year. You know, Dez Bryant, that game just heated up. But Goodfellas Sports TV, I'll link the article to the description. Salute to everybody out there. Don't forget we on Facebook, Twitter. Also, you can email me, video requests, DM me, add me, retweet the videos out, share the videos out. Trying to grow the brand. I definitely appreciate everybody for holding us down. Want to make a donation, the donation link is in the description. Salute to everybody that do donate, Mr. Benson, Mr. White, and the rest of the crew. And y'all know what the business is. One time for the one time, Goodfellas Sports TV. Your boy CJ Goodfellas, we out.